the league office is going to have its hands full between Davante Adams and this roughing the passer or nothing the passer, as Chris coined it when this craze began a couple of years ago. And we see it come and go. We see it bubble up. This is one of the realities, Chris, of having 17 different referees. They have 16 crews, and they have an extra crew because they get buys too. You got 17 referees who have different opinions on what is and isn't roughing the passer. And this is part of the problem when roughing the passer is this formula that's got 10 different ways, I think, that you can rough a passer. It's like figuring out how many different ways a pitcher can balk, and you're going to have different opinions about what it is. And some folks are more sensitive than others, like Jerome Boger has that reputation for being very sensitive about the roughing rules. And some things are going to happen that one referee would call it and another wouldn't. But last night's looks like one that was just flat wrong. The explanation from Carl Cheffers after the game, just flat wrong. Here it is, Chris Jones making a tackle, grabbing the ball from Derek Carr, and bracing himself as he fell with his left hand. Cheffers says it was full body weight. It can't be full body weight if Chris Jones is bracing with his left hand. He tried not to put his full body weight on Derek Carr while he had the ball that he had taken from Derek Carr. And look,
and wait, just when we watch the replay again, the flag is when Chris Jones has the ball. Watch when he drops. He's running to the sidelines. The flag's not down. The flag's not down. The flag's not down. The flag's not down. There it is. There's the flag. I mean, come on. I mean, the NFL's got to step in here. We have a problem. We have a real problem. First off, you said it right, Mike. There's no body weight there. Even the fact that Derek Carr put his hand down tells me he wasn't that out of control. When you're that out of control and you feel weight like that as a quarterback and you're in a position where you're going, oh man, he hit me so hard and his body weight's on me, you don't put your hand down because you go, I'm going to break my shoulder or my arm by putting my hand down. I just got to take this one and go to the ground. So it's wrong in all aspects, let alone that Chris Jones has the possession of the football. They should have called roughing on Derek Carr for tackling Chris Jones too hard here. He's got the ball. I mean, I'm being funny there. But they're ruining the sport. The NFL 345 has to step in. It's every week right now. We're seeing plays that dictate football games, and they're big plays, and Johnny referee steps in and goes, wait, I know you guys came here to see Josh Allen or Mahomes and all that, but I'm the real star of the show. I'm gonna dictate the game. The biggest moments, I'm gonna dictate it. And not even react really fast in live time. Going to kind of think about it and then throw it. It's got issues, and we see it every week. It's not just this weekend. We saw it, of course, with Brady. We see it here. We saw it with Josh Allen last weekend. We saw illegal talking to the quarterback too meanly from Chris Jones. And Matt Ryan. Right. All right. We've seen also, we got to go back here because week 1, 2, and 3, there was also egregious calls just like this as well. It's just in the last week here, we've had them in the biggest moments of games, and now people are starting to go, wait, something's wrong here. They're ruining the sport. They really are. And I do think that 345's got to step in and start saying something to these referees. It's not fair. It's not a good watch. It turns me off as a fan of the sport and a guy that loves it. It's a real problem.
Cheffers was interviewed by a pool reporter after the game, and it's a strange procedure because I've always said that the officials should be as accountable and available and transparent as the players are and the coaches after a game. They should have to talk after every game. They should have to answer questions to the media after every game. What happens is, in certain circumstances, the NFL activates this pool report function where one reporter gets to basically interview the referee and ask him about a key call or two. Sometimes there's more than one. Last night it was just one. Said Cheffers in explaining his call, the quarterback is in the pocket and he's in the passing posture. He gets full protection of all aspects of what we give the quarterbacks in a passing posture. So when he was tackled, my ruling was the defender landed on him with full body weight. The quarterback is protected from being tackled with full body weight. My ruling was roughing the passer for that reason. And look, that's fine, but it's wrong. See, we don't just need an explanation from the referee in real time as to why he did what he did. We also need an explanation from the league office as to whether or not it was accurate and whether or not they agree with it. They stay silent. Remember when they
they stayed silent on Sunday too, Mike, because it's wrong. We know it. It's
remember,
wrong.
there was a time
Yeah.
when Mike Pereira and then after him Dean Blandino
Right.
would do videos that would go over meaningful calls, not ridiculous, obvious stuff. There would be a video every week that they would make available to the media that would address calls that were controversial, and they would explain them. And Pereira and Blandino would admit when somebody got something wrong. But you know what happens? The officials don't like being held publicly accountable. Well, tough crap. Don't make mistakes, and you won't be held publicly accountable. Everybody else on the field who makes a mistake is held publicly accountable.
Agreed.
And it makes the NFL look bad. It makes the NFL look like they're hiding something because they feel like they have to tiptoe on eggshells around the referees who, God forbid, someone should explain officially and transparently why they screwed up. So the last word on this, I guarantee you, will be Carl Cheffers giving us an incorrect explanation of what happened. He didn't land on him with his full body weight. And the one thing that was missed, and this isn't a criticism of the pool reporter because you're trying to process a lot and you got follow-ups. This was a point that was made by John Perry, former NFL referee, last night in the second half. It kind of took him a while to realize it. It took me a while to realize it too, and I don't know that I would have realized it without Perry explaining it. It should have been a post-possession foul. It should have been Chiefs ball back 15 yards because before Chris Jones landed on Derek Carr with full body weight.
Right, he's got possession of the ball.
He's got the football. This should have been Chiefs ball 15 yards back from the Las Vegas 42.
Why
That's
even
what
that?
It should have
why? I mean, why? Because he tripped over him after he had the ball?
I'm saying, no. I'm saying at the worst. Even if we find that Chris Jones landed on Derek Carr with his full body weight, even though he didn't, Jones has the ball when he does. So it should be Chiefs ball with the penalty applied at that point. And what the Chiefs should have done, the Chiefs should have thrown the red flag there because it's not automatically reviewable because the ruling on the field was that there was no turnover.
Right.
The Chiefs throw the red flag there
to say there's a turnover.
When did that happen? When did that happen in the first half?
That was late in the quarter.
Was it after the 2 minutes? If it's after 2 minutes, it should have been automatically reviewed.
I do believe it was. I do believe it was after 2 minutes. I got to go back.
Can
and
somebody
look at
give
that
me the
for sure.
time there?
Go, just play the
1:14. All right.
Yeah.
It's not okay. The league.
Yeah. Need to step in.
And the last thing, Charles why do I keep getting? I want to say Carl's Cheffer like Carl's Jr. Carl Cheffers. Not Carl's Cheffer like Carl's Jr. I really would like a hamburger right now. But the league should have intervened. He said that New York did not talk to him at all. They should have activated the replay process. The replay assistant in the booth screwed up. Whoever was in charge at 345 Park Avenue screwed up. That's really the story here, Chris. Yeah, the roughing call was bad, but we know we're going to get bad roughing calls. We kind of have to accept that it's going to happen and there's not a damn thing we can do about it because it's not reviewable even if it should be. But what was reviewable was that Chris Jones had the ball and they failed to review it. I'm going to, during a break, text somebody at the league office and try to get an answer to that question. Should they have activated the replay process to say that it was Chiefs ball? We can't pick up the flag because that call isn't reviewable, but we can say it was Chiefs ball at the time the penalty happened.
Yeah, I mean, they did drop the ball. I mean, there was a turnover. It was a change of possession there. It should have been reviewed. And then, yeah, maybe it does change there. So, yeah, the NFL is wrong there. And the way they're reffing these plays is wrong, too. And, Mike, I mean, you talk about replay. This might be something they have to talk about where this becomes a replay type thing in the offseason. I don't know. It's got to change, though. The defense it's ridiculous. They're such an unfair advantage right now in the NFL. It's pretty ridiculous. It really is. You're taking away a big aspect of their game, which is physicality and making the quarterback feel uncomfortable. And for the most part, too, quarterbacks are not getting hurt. It's not happening. They're being protected above and beyond. And here we are in the day and age of gambling and money and all that. And man, I don't know. Every weekend I turn around and a call that is just what's the phrase I want to use here? That the referee can just kind of go, well, I don't know, I see it this way, can dictate the football game and change the game. I mean, that to me is the issue with the NFL and why they got to be a little more stringent and stricter and give us some comments here about this situation altogether. And the refs got to be held accountable too. I'm with you, Mike. I mean, again, I just don't understand where we go from here. But right now, I do think the league has to get in. It's all this correction of the Tua thing, and I understand that. I get it.
But it's not. But this stuff was happening before Tua.
But I feel like right now it's going above and beyond. Okay? All right. And I understand that you're right. It was going on.
I think the Tua overreaction has more to do with Teddy Bridgewater
or the
being
Brady
removed
one
for ataxia when he showed no signs of ataxia. I think this is good old-fashioned protecting the quarterback. I just think that we've had these issues, and we've seen them early in the season before. Remember, there was a play – it was a Packers-Vikings game, wasn't it? We have ranted about this before.
It's every week now. It's twice a week. It's 2 or 3 times on Sunday.
This isn't a concussion thing. This is protect a quarterback from any injury that could keep him from playing thing, and this has been around for a while now. I sent a text to somebody at the league office. Can I get an explanation why replay wasn't activated to review whether Chris Jones had possession before the penalty? It looks like it should have been Chiefs' ball with the penalty applied from there. We'll see if we get an answer.
It's a game-changing moment, nonetheless. And the refs have too much power right now. And there's too many of them that are making the wrong call. And I do think it's time to start talking about being accountable. I do. That was such a bad call. You don't get to ref a game next week. I'm sorry. We're bringing a guy off the bench. Because you, Jerome Bogerts, absolutely took the game into your discretion with the Falcons and the Bucks, and you don't get to ref the next week. You miss your game check. It's egregiously wrong. The NFL's not defending it because it's egregiously wrong. Just like the week before with the Ravens, Josh Allen hit, and the protection's gone above and beyond. You're right. I know that was more traditional last night. The NFL has to step in and start changing this a little bit.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.